Welcome back to Dragon Roof's Cavern, where we are about to fight the boss just beyond the door over there. So first we want to grapple across this lava pit, and here's a magtail that we're actually going to be killing this time. So you do the same thing as before, throw the grappling hook into its eye twice, and when it's curled up, you attack! I said attack! Come on! Okay, it's annoying that the wall was in the way, but at least I killed it before it managed to wake up again. And here we have a Knight's Crest, which is yet another kind of collectible trinket. You really want to rack up on as many of these as you can find, because the reward is definitely worth it. Joy Pendant in this, and in this one, I believe... Fairy! Sorry! I just had to do it at least once in this LP. So, yeah, fairies, you can catch them in bottles like this. You can also use them on the spot, though usually you're going to want to put them in bottle. When you die, it's going to regenerate 8 hearts, and if you just use it when you're not dead, it heals you for 8 hearts as well, which is a huge step down from the full healing that it gave you in Ocarina of Time. Yeah, fairies were hit very, very hard with the nerf stick since then, but they're still valuable partners, especially early in the game. Anyway, this is it! Time for the first boss fight in this game. And there's Valu's tail up there. Remember, we heard that some creature was doing awful things to it? And here it is! This is Gohma, our first boss in this game. It changed a lot since Ocarina of Time as well, not that I'm implying that it's the same creature. Now, I gotta hurry up and... Oh man, I overshot it, I went too high, and yeah, that's what happens. You really have to hurry. You know what, I'm gonna get out of there. Okay, good call, because now it's stuck. But yeah, you really don't have much time to react when the battle first starts. You have to nail it right away or else you're gonna get hit. So, what you want to do, you want to grapple onto Valu's tail, get across there, and this huge slab of rock is going to fall on Gohma's head. As you can see, its armored exterior is now a bit more bruised. So, what you want to do for the first part of this battle, you just want to do that, repeat, repeat, repeat. If you're lucky enough to get on one of the higher wooden ledges, then good for you, because it means you're going to be able to do your thing in relative peace. And boom! Here we go! Second hit. I believe 3 are necessary to destroy its outermost shell. And by the way, sorry for the graphical glitch you're going to see in just a second. Yeah, that. It's not like that in the real game, but hey, this is flaws that you have to expect out of emulation. Emulating a GameCube can hardly be really perfect. But anyway, slab of rock is going to fall down on Gohma for the first time. So now its armor is going to be damaged enough that it's going to decide to say, screw it! I'm going naked from here on in. And after performing this striptease, here comes the second form. What you have to do, you simply have to grapple the eye towards you with the grappling hook, and then just attack like this, and that is it! Boss number 1 down! And you're probably not going to believe me, because if it looked easy, that's because it was, but it's still one of the hardest bosses in the game. Not because this was particularly difficult, but rather because the rest of the bosses are so easy! This one actually provides some sort of challenge on a bad run. The others, it's practically impossible to have a bad run on them, excluding some of the bosses at the very end of the game, but other than that, this was actually one of the hardest. Anyway, let's pick up our heart container, which is going to increase our max energy by 1 heart. Never forget to pick this up. Whenever you finish a dungeon, never, ever forget. I remember forgetting about it once. I think it was in the Spirit Temple in Ocarina of Time, and I was pissed when I figured it out. Anyway, now that Gohma is dead, Valu's going to realize that he's going to be able to sit on his lazy ass and eat chips all day without having to worry about Gohma doing nasty things to his tail. And there goes the cloud around the top of the island as well. So we just solved all the Rito's problems in one fell swoop. I told you I would have to do everything for them, since, well, this is a Zelda game. You have to do everything for everyone. Anyway, we're back near the entrance to the island, and the welcoming committee is already here. We have Komali and Medley. If you remember, when we first met Komali, he said he would be more willing to listen about giving up Din's Pearl if I did something about Valu, and now that that's done, he's going to have to follow up on his end of the bargain. And yeah, I hope I can be like you someday. Not a chance. I am the best, and don't you forget it. So, he's going to give up Din's Pearl, which, as you've probably figured out if you're familiar with Zelda games, is the first of a set of 3, the other pearls being named after the other goddesses who created Hyrule. But for now, let's enjoy our well-earned victory and earn the compliments of the Sky Spirit himself. And yeah, remember how Medley said she could speak some of Valu's language? This is the old Hylian language that was presumably used in Hyrule back in the days of Ocarina of Time. That's just speculation, though Hyrule Historia might say something about it. But anyway, Valu told us to use the Wind God's Wind, which has to do with the shrines on the other side of that tunnel that we just saw. But that's something we already did, and that's when you're actually supposed to meet Zephos, but we already did so early, so there's no need to go back there. So we're going to take our leave of Dragon Roost Island and head to our next destination. But before that, we're going to head back to Windfall Island to do a few side quests. So now, okay, King of Red Lion is right over there. So now he's going to tell us that our next destination is going to be to the south, and he's not going to let me climb him until the wind is blowing south. So what we're going to be supposed to do here is head back on land, pull out the Wind Waker, and play the Wind's Requiem to have the wind blowing south. This is an absolute condition if you want to be able to board the King of Red Lions. The wind has to blow south, though once that's done, you can climb on him and send the wind's direction in any way you wish. So for our needs, we're going to head back west, since that's the direction of Windfall Island. And while I'm going to be cutting out most of the sailing from here on in, since I already showed you the basics, there's still something that I have to show you that's going to happen in a scripted event once we get far enough from Dragon Roost Island, which is going to happen any second now. Here we go. We are so very rudely interrupted by some random freaky fish guy who apparently has some business with us. This guy is called Fishman, and his role in this game is to fill out your sea chart so that you can actually have a world map that's actually worth something. So this is basically a demonstration of what these fish do. There is one such fish near every island on the Great Sea, and each fish is going to draw the corresponding island on your sea chart. So, for example, this one is going to draw Dragon Roost Island. And as you see, we already have 3 freebie squares, which are Outset Island, the Forsaken Fortress, and Windfall Island. And now, Dragon Roost Island got added to that. So, now he's going to give me some advice regarding Dragon Roost Island. This is something all map fish do. They give you some advice either about the island you're near or another island that's close by. But yeah, what he's telling us is that whenever we meet one of these fish, they're going to draw the corresponding island on the sea chart for us. However, you need bait to do so, because they're not just going to do it for free. You have to throw bait at them in order for them to come by and fill out your sea chart. So you really want to do this diligently whenever you encounter a new island. It's very important that you throw bait at the mad fish if you don't want your sea chart to show nothing but seas, as this one mad fish so cleverly said. Now I'm just going to open the treasure charts that I found in Dragon Roost Cavern. This one is for Crescent Moon Island. This one is for Dragon Roost Island. How convenient. So, now I'm going to head back to Windfall Island, so I will see you when I get over there. But first, a quick pit stop at the Pawprint Isle so that I can actually get that island drawn on my sea chart by the resident madfish, who's right over there. You can see in the distance, though the gulls are sort of in the way, you can see the madfish jumping out of the water. That's to tell you where he is, so he's all the way over there. Once you get near, you just want to slow down so as to not miss completely, which happened to me once. I looked like a complete doofus. So he's going to eat up the bait and draw Pawprint Isle on square B5 of the sea chart for us. Now, these mapfish, they pretty much all say the same thing aside from the random tip about the island. I believe this one is going to tell us about the massive amount of chews that are found in the cavern inside the island. Let's see, am I right? Yeah, well, the game calls it chews, but sometimes they're just called chews. The games themselves are rather inconsistent, what they call certain enemies. But yeah, we've seen chews before, or chews, whatever, I don't care. But yeah, he's going to tell us that the potion brewer from Windfall Island, which is a guy we haven't met yet, but we will later on. But yeah, that guy uses chew jelly as the base for the medicine that he makes, so it makes sense that he would visit this place every now and then. So, now that we're done here, see you back on Windfall Island. And we are finally back at Windfall Island. We have time to do just one thing here. There are a few side quests that we can do here now that we have the Wind Waker in our possession. And one of the things that we're going to need for these side quests is a brand new Wind Waker song, which is going to be given to us by, yes, Tot. So you want to go up next to him, pull out the Wind Waker, just wait, and suddenly he's going to have this crazy burst of inspiration, and you know what? Just watch this.
Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Yeah! Yeah! Woo!
No fucking comment. And with that, I don't know what the fuck I just watched, but with that we got our second Wind Waker song, the Song of Passing, which is functionally identical, and even the song itself is identical to the Sun's Song from Ocarina of Time, and it does the exact same thing. It turns night into day and day into night, and apparently Tot is pretty angry because his dance doesn't do jack. But if we try the melody ourselves, it's actually going to work. But we're not going to do that quite yet, because while we're at nighttime, there are still a few things that we can do on Windfall Island, starting with this house over there that we haven't visited yet. But we're going to take care of what there is to do in there next time. Oh, hi, Zunari!